Welcome to Porter-Pedia, your deep dive into the extraordinary work and world of Cole Porter. Today we're plunging into one of his most famously wild musicals from 1936, Red Hot and Blue.
Oh, wild is definitely the word.
Yeah.
I mean, this show brought together a genuine triple threat of Broadway and Hollywood legends. You had Ethel Merman, Jimmy Durante, and Bob Hope.
It's an incredible lineup, isn't it?
Just huge. Imagine that on one stage.
So for this deep dive, our mission really is to peel back the layers of Red Hot and Blue, tackle its, well, famously improbable, maybe even baffling plot. We'll look at how this powerhouse trio, Merman, Durante, Hope, how they were used, or maybe not fully used.
Right.
And crucially, we'll celebrate the brilliant Cole Porter songs, which, according to our source material, were pretty much the saving grace of the whole thing.
It's quite a story, really. And the research, it gives some fascinating insights into why this show stands out, often for kind of contradictory reasons, actually.
Okay, so let's start there. Let's step into the wacky world of Red Hot and Blue. Now, despite its reputation, it actually had a pretty solid run for the time. 181 performances.
Yeah, that wasn't bad at all, especially following Jubilee's 169. Respectable.
And what's really interesting, our source points this out, is the billing, in the ads.
Oh, yeah, the intersecting names, Merman, Durante, Hope, all crossing over each other.
Exactly. It visually implied no single star was, top dog. It was presented as this true triple threat ensemble. Pretty unusual.
Indeed. It suggested this collective power. But, despite those huge names, the show is notoriously remembered for having, and I quote, one of the weakest books of any Ethel Merman musical.
Right. And for anyone listening, the book is basically the script, the dialogue, the plot.
That's it.
And this weakest book was written by Howard Lindsay and Russell Krauss.
The guys who wrote Anything Goes.
Exactly. The same brilliant team. It's kind of a paradox, isn't it?
It really is.
Their character for Merman here, Nails, she's a former manicurist whose millionaire husband just, poof, conveniently died.
Right, leaving her fabulously wealthy. But as our source notes, it felt like a bit of a downgrade from her character in Anything Goes.
Yeah, the evangelist turned entertainer, much more dynamic.
And what's wild is how fast you have to suspend your disbelief. Nails gets super rich and decides, okay, I'll be a philanthropist.
Because her father was a felon. That's the motivation.
Apparently so, according to our source. So she convinces a prison warden somehow to let her rehabilitate ex-cons as butlers and reform schoolgirls as servers for her parties.
Okay, just like that.
Yeah, you're immediately in absurd territory.
And her partner in this venture is Policy Pinkle, played by Jimmy Durante.
Ah, Pinkle. Our source says he's the captain of the prison's polo team.
A prison polo team.
Yes, implying a very progressive prison, let's say.
Okay.
And the kicker is, Pinkle loves prison life so much whenever he gets out, he deliberately commits crimes just to get sent back.
Oh, wow, okay.
So that really sets the tone, over the top, satirical.
Right. And the main conflict, it centers on Nails having a crush on this lawyer, Bob Hale, played by Bob Hope.
But Hale's completely hung up on finding his childhood sweetheart, only known as Baby.
And Baby, well, she has a very, very specific identifying mark.
Oh, yes. The waffle iron incident.
When Hale was 6, he tried to kiss 4-year-old Baby. She pushed him, landed on a hot waffle iron.
And got a unique brand, basically, a permanent indentation.
Right. So Nails, in a kind of surprisingly generous move, decides she'll help Hale find Baby.
Even though she loves him. And finding Baby means she loses him.
Exactly. Her plan, get her parolee staff to flood the country with lottery tickets. The winner is whoever produces Baby.
It just keeps getting more ridiculous, doesn't it?
It really does. And what Nails doesn't realize is that one of her own staff, a reform school girl named Peaches, who, by the way, was sent to reform school for corrupting the morals of an adult.
Oh, my goodness.
She is actually Baby.
No, of course she is.
And the way Hale finds out is, well, it's something else.
Ow.
Our source says Peaches gets aggressively flirtatious. So Hale puts her over his knee and starts spanking her.
He what?
Yeah. And then he sees the unique ID from the waffle iron.
Wow. Okay. That's definitely a product of its time. Yikes.
To say the least. And just when you think it can't get any crazier.
It does.
It does. Hale's lost interest in the lottery now, but some senators from the Finance Committee, they'd been thinking about a national lottery to avoid raising taxes. They hear about Nails' love lottery, decide to try their luck.
Let me guess. They win.
Bingo. They win.
So now the senators have found Baby. What happens then?
Hale is now obligated to marry her. On the White House lawn, no less.
Naturally. And Pinkle, Durante's character.
Oh, he's become a public hero? So admired that an interior decorator gets hired to redo his prison cell.
Of course. A prison cell makeover.
And the final twist, the ultimate Dies Machina. The Supreme Court steps in. They rule the lottery unconstitutional. Why? Because, and this is apparently a direct quote from the script, it might benefit the American people.
Oh, that's sharp satire, actually.
So, that ruling lets Pinkle go back to his beloved, newly decorated prison cell.
Whew, happy ending for him.
Hale and Nails can finally get married, and Peaches, well, the play ends with her apparently embarking on the world's oldest profession.
Wow. Wow. So the book, like our source summarizes, is this mashup of improbable, impossible, satirical, all just skewed so much that the audience really had no choice but to, just enjoy the Cole Porter score.
Right. It really tells you something about 1930s musical comedy, doesn't it? The book was often just scaffolding.
Exactly. A framework for the stars and, crucially, the songs, the plot itself. Often secondary.
Which is a perfect way to shift into talking about those stars, the script, and the songs themselves, because they were all tangled up together.
Absolutely. And our research suggests Lindsay and Croce, the writers, actually served Durante and Hope much better than they served Merman.
How so?
Well, they clearly got Hope's comedy style. Pure setup and punchline.
Like the example.
Yeah, give him a line like, they say two's company, and he shoots back, and three's the result. Classic Hope.
Right. Quick singers. And Durante.
Ideal for sketch comedy. Critics apparently loved his scene talking to the interior decorator about his prison cell.
You can just picture that, can't you? Him and his nose reacting to, paint swatches for a jail cell.
Totally.
Yeah.
Perfect Durante absurdity.
But Merman, even though she's the lead, she kind of got short shrift.
Seems that way. The analysis says she had nothing to do but sing and misuse words.
Like saying laxative instead of lax?
Exactly that kind of thing. And while she worked well with Durante, apparently there was no rapport with Hope.
Huh. You wouldn't expect that.
Well, Hope was always a bit of a standalone comic, wasn't he? Even in the road movies with Crosby.
True.
Our source puts it nicely. Merman and Hope were stars in their own firmaments, which were always meant to be separate.
So, with that chaotic book, it really underscores how vital Porter's score was. It was the audience's salvation, basically.
Absolutely. And the standout, the song everyone still knows, is It's D Lovely.
Ah, yes.
A classic.
Definitely the best known from the show. It's a duet for Nails and Hale. Our source calls it ebullient, notes bouncing like champagne bubbles.
It feels so light and bubbly, but does it have hidden depths?
Well, on the surface, maybe it seems a little cynical and goofy, kind of casting a cold eye on young love.
Right.
But underneath, Porter being Porter, our research shows it's actually this incredibly structured 5-part tale. 5
parts in one song.
Subtly, yeah.
Huh.
It moves from a walk in spring through courtship, marriage, and even the birth of their first child.
Wow. Who goes to MGM, apparently.
Who goes to MGM, naturally. And like pretty much all Porter's songs, it's mathematically precise.
How so?
Each of the 5 refrains. 16 lines, the 3rd and 6th lines are always, it's delightful, it's delicious, it's lovely.
Always the same. Always. And every refrain ends with, it's de-lovely, except the baby one, refrain 4. There, he's de-lovely.
That's so intricate. It's like a little puzzle hidden in the song.
Totally. And the fun continues in the last 5 lines of each refrain, this gleeful nonsense bit.
With all the D words.
Exactly, like delectable, de-wonderbar, de-regal, just piling them on.
And the baby refrain changes again.
Yeah, for the baby, the D's become P's. Words like pollywog, paragon, Popeye, panic, pip.
Pollywog, Popeye.
For a baby.
Our source calls them weirdly inappropriate, but points out they are all real dictionary words. It's just so clever and witty.
That really is Porter's genius, isn't it? Playful but incredibly smart.
Absolutely. And beyond It's D Lovely, he gave Merman another fantastic song, Down in the Depths, on the 90th floor.
Woo, I know that one. Sung early in the show.
Yeah, Act 1 in a gold lame gown, apparently. It's all about the frustration of loving someone who loves someone else. Hale's still pining for baby at this point. And Merman could really sell that kind of emotion, couldn't she? Even through the brassiness.
Oh, definitely. Think of I Got Lost in His Arms from Annie Get Your Gun, or even parts of Everything's Coming Up Roses from Gypsy. She could find the poignancy.
Yeah.
Though the analysis suggests Down in the Depths might say more about Porter than it does about Merman's character.
How do you mean?
Well, lines like, with a wistful, weak martini while the radio plays Fortuno and the scent of Neurotini, or referencing a regal eagle nest, that's pure sophisticated Porter internal rhyme.
Not necessarily something Nails, the ex-manicurist, would come up with.
Exactly. It feels like Porter's own never-satisfied world traveler persona peeking through, injecting a bit of himself.
Interesting. And then there was Ridin' High.
Yeah. Merman bursts into that one when she finally thinks Bob Hale is hers.
That's the one where she's basically saying she doesn't care about other famous women's assets.
That's it. Indifferent to Barbara Hutton's money, Katharine Hepburn's nose, Dietrich's legs, Dorothy Parker's wit, Simone Simon's figure.
Quite the list.
It's less remembered now, maybe, but our source notes it comes at a really crucial point in the plot, so its placement mattered.
And Merman's voice itself. How did our source describe her overall persona and delivery?
Beautifully, actually. As a wisecracking, brassy, slangy, but essentially moral dame who feels deeply, but only expresses it when no one is around to hear.
That fits down on the depths perfectly then. It's for the audience's ears only, her hidden sorrow.
Exactly. And she had that versatility. She could go swagger or soft, adjust the volume, sing plaintively, though maybe less often in Porter shows than Berlin or Stein ones.
But her signature was that power, right?
Oh, yeah. The clarion mode, they call it. Her unique ability not just to break, but explode into songs so naturally that it becomes a heightened form of expression.
That's the Merman sound.
Unmistakable.
Absolutely. So with all that,
Yeah.
the crazy plot, the star dynamics, the amazing songs, what's the legacy of Red Hot and Blue? Does it get revived?
Well, our source is pretty blunt. It may never see a Broadway revival.
The book's just too weak.
Pretty much. Despite the stars and the score, it probably wouldn't hold up for modern audiences, theatrically speaking.
But It's Dee Lovely certainly lived on.
Oh, absolutely. It survived as an interpolation, basically. It got added into later revivals of Anything Goes.
Right, the 1994 and 2011 ones.
Yeah, which really shows how a great song can just transcend its original, maybe shaky context.
Definitely. Now, we should probably clear up some potential confusion, too, right, about the title?
Good point, yes. Porter's musical, Red Hot and Blue, is totally different from the 1949 Paramount movie, also called Red Hot and Blue.
Starring Betty Hutton and Victor Mature.
That's the one. The film, our source says, was a mix of comedy, crime, and music. Hutton played an aspiring actress mixed up in a murder.
So why is it considered a musical? Just because of Hutton?
Pretty much her specialty, yeah. And she sang 5 songs in it by Frank Loesser, including Now That I Need You. No Porter songs in that film.
Got it. So different beast entirely.
Completely. But here's a fun bit of irony our source points out. Betty Hutton actually sang Porter lyrics really well in the 1943 film of Let's Face It. So the thinking is, if they could have just changed Baby's distinguishing mark from a waffle iron burn, Hutton would have been the perfect nails for a film version of the stage musical.
Wow. What a missed opportunity that could have been.
Isn't it? Makes you wonder.
So wrapping up our journey through Red Hot and Blue, it really was this bizarre blend, wasn't it? Extreme plot absurdity meets Cole Porter's musical genius.
Absolutely. Huge stars, a story that went completely off the rails, but wow, some unforgettable songs that have lasted decades.
Which brings us to a final thought, something for you, our listener, to maybe mull over.
Given how chaotic and, frankly, critically panned the book of Red Hot and Blue was, what does the enduring legacy of just one song like It's Still Lovely truly tell us?
What does it say about the sheer power of a perfectly crafted tune to rise above its original show, to transcend that context and become an immortal part of the American songbook?
Something to think about.
Definitely something to think about. Until our next deep dive into the working world of Cole Porter, keep listening, keep exploring, and keep celebrating the magic of musical theater.